Welcome guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiana Nakara and I'm here with another vlog. So today I'm inside the kitchen. I got on my nice comfy outfit and I'm finna just make some nachos for you guys, and I'm super excited about it because this is my first cooking vlog. So I got the ground beef in a skillet because I'm already ready to go and I'm ready to just cook for you guys. So I'm finna show y'all everything I got to go with the meal. I got some chips to go with it. You know we gotta have our chips with our nachos. Some cheese. Yes, I got some cheese, some cilantro because I like cilantro with my nachos. So you see I got some cilantro and I got some lettuce. I got an onion. I eat a little bit of onions with my nachos. So yeah, you're gonna see me cut up a little bit of onions. I got some tomatoes, and then I got some green sauce that everybody be putting on their nachos. So yeah, this is everything I got to go with it. So let's get into it. So now I'm finna actually ground the ground beef first. So my meat can be nice and ground, and then I'm going to actually strain the meat and then add water to it. But first I'm just grounding the ground beef. So I was just showing y'all that I'm cooking my ground beef on 4 and I'm just setting everything up. Now for some videos I'm always gonna have to like do a voiceover because I have a baby, so bear with me. But yeah, I'm just grounding the ground beef now. So the ground beef is actually cooked more now, and I was just showing you guys that it's cooking and it's browning. So this process actually took a couple of minutes. Like it took a while off camera because I had to get the meat to actually brown. But yeah, so we're just waiting for the meat to brown, and I'm just chopping up my ground beef. Yep, just chopping up my ground beef, waiting for it to brown, y'all. So it actually got darker around about this point, and you can see that the meat is actually brown. So I'm going to continue to cook it until it's even more browner. Then we're going to take the pot off and we're going to strain the meat and put the meat back on and add water to it. So for right now, I'm still just grinding the beef, letting it get darker. So finally guys, I got done and I'm ready to strain the meat. So that is now what I'm finna do. I'm finna just add the meat over into the strainer and let it cool down for a minute, and then I'm going to put the meat back on, add water, and then add all the seasoning I need to go with the meat to actually get the meat tasting like ground beef, getting it taste like nachos, like how we want it. And as you guys can see, the meat is very, very hot. It's steaming. So we're just going to let that cool off for a minute and then put it back on. So now we're finna put the meat back on to add the seasoning, and as you can see, that's what I'm doing. I'm now getting the meat out of the sink, out of the strainer, and I'm putting it back on the stove so I can now add the seasoning and add water to it. So you guys are now finna see me do that in the next clip of the video. And guys, I was talking to people in the background because I was setting up and I was doing a lot of things. So I'm actually just letting the meat cook for a little minute right now to heat it back up so I can get the cup of water and add the water to it so I can start adding the seasoning like I was telling you guys. Now I'm finna add a cup of water, just 1 cup. Now we're gonna let that 1 cup soak up the meat. Now we're finna add the season so we can get our ground beef to start tasting. So we're trying to get our ground beef to start tasting like taco meat. So this is all the seasoning that I'm putting in it, and I will have all the seasoning that I added to my taco meat below. So yeah, I'm just showing you guys everything that I use to add flavor to my meat. Now I'm finna just add it to my taco meat and let the flavor cook up just like this for a moment. Now I put everything, all my seasons on top, and then I just let everything soak in. So I'm just putting everything back at this point, and I'm up all my sides that I need to go with my nachos. So now it's time to just let the flavors soak. And so now I'm ready to chop up everything. So first we're going to make sure we have a chopping board and it's clean, it's nicely washed off. And we have a knife or two knives to use. Now throughout this video I used two different knives to chop up everything that was up in the video, so you're going to see me use different knives. So the first thing I will be chopping up is my tomatoes to go with my nachos. So we're just going to chop up about one tomato and then set it on the plate up over there. So we're going to nicely dice up this tomato so at least 3 to 4 people be able to put some tomatoes on their plate. So we're going to make sure we dice up the tomato very nice and very neat. So now I have finally diced up all the tomatoes and I have added them to this plate, which I am now finna just now add the tomatoes over into the small blue plate in the corner, which is going to be the decoration plate for when everything get chopped up. So now I'm moving on to cutting the onion, and every knife was rinsed off after using. So now we're just going to chop up this onion into small little dices so we can also have for the nachos. finally, we are now cutting up our cilantro. And the cilantro is the second to last thing before we are done with our decoration plate and we can move back on to finishing up the nachos. So now I'm just cutting up the cilantro. Really, it's not much to cut up because cilantro is not really a lot. You just need to chop it up about 3 or 4 times, and my pieces are perfect for me for my nachos. So that's all I did. I just chopped it up a couple of times, and then I had just started adding the cilantro over to decoration plate, and then moved forward to the lettuce because the cilantro really didn't take that much time. So finally, we are on the lettuce, and I'm cutting it up. And I'm just gonna cut the lettuce up into almost small dices again, but not really like small dices, but like little shredded pieces of lettuce, so it wouldn't be so heavy on top of the nachos. So I'm still just dicing up the lettuce, and after this, I'm just going to set the lettuce over on the decoration plate because I'll be all done, and I'll be moving on to making my cheese for my nachos. So I'm just dicing up this lettuce because I want my lettuce to look really, really nice. Same with the tomatoes, the onions, and the cilantro. I want everything to be nice, and so you can just pick it. You can just pick it up, and you can eat it with your nachos, and it wouldn't be too heavy. Like the lettuce wouldn't be too thick, the tomatoes wouldn't be too thick to swallow. Like you want everything to be like nice and broke down, small enough where people can enjoy their nachos. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just breaking my lettuce down, trying to get it to the point where I think everybody is going to enjoy it, and none of the pieces are just going to be way too big. Now I'm all done and I'm adding the lettuce to the decoration plate so I can wrap up the rest of my meal, which is adding the cheese to the bowl and getting the cheese ready and decorating my nachos. So I'm just finna wash off my chopping board and move forward with adding the cheese to the bowl. But first, here is how the decoration plate turned out after I got done chopping up everything. So you can see it's very nice, very fresh, and cute. Yeah, and so that's the cheese and the green sauce that we're going to use to make our nachos hot. You know, you got like a little spicy nachos from time to time. So we're finna warm up this cheese. And I warmed up my cheese about 4.5 minutes, almost 5, to make it really, really, really hot. So yeah, and I put the whole entire bottle of cheese up in here. I did not hold back. I actually grabbed a spoon out of the cabinet. Out of the drawer, I'm sorry, and scraped every last piece of cheese into that bowl. I got all the cheese out of there, y'all. I did not hold back. I wanted my nachos to be covered in cheese. I wanted my nachos to be delicious. I have worked very hard for it, so I wanted all my cheese, and I had got fat. So now I'm gonna just warm up the cheese. As you can see, I got everything out, and I'm finna just warm it up, put it on there for like 4.5 minutes, and then prepare my nachos. So now I have my plate, and I'm finna start off by adding some chips to the plate first. You know, we gotta have some chips on there. That chip fell out, but we ain't even gonna get that one no more. We don't even want that one. So now we're finna just add some chips to the plate. Yeah. And now I came back with some ground beef already on my plate that I added to the plate off camera because the meat was on the stove still hot. So now I'm adding lettuce, tomatoes, cilantro, and the onion to the plate, decorating the plate up how I want it so I can eat it, you know what I'm saying, how I want to. So I'm just filling this plate up with everything I diced up. And I mean everything, y'all. I did not hold back, okay? And you can see the plate is nicely filled. And it looked delicious. It looked very delicious, y'all. Now I'm finna add the cheese onto my nachos that I warmed up. Remember, I warmed up the cheese almost on 5 minutes, and as y'all can see, it's very, very hot because it's just running up out of that, and the cheese was smoky, so it was very, very, very hot. I had to put that glove on. That's how hot the cheese was. Now I'm going to add the green hot sauce to my nachos, which just makes the nachos a little spicy. Not that spicy for me, but I like it. So I'm just going to add me a couple of drops. And voila, you have Tayana Nakara nachos. That's how I make my nachos. If anybody would like me to make some nachos or just would love some nachos by me, this is Tayana Nakara nachos, and it's been real, y'all. So thank you. Like this video, subscribe, comment, see me in the next video, and thank you for watching me. Bye, y'all.